I'm gonna leave that there for a little bit till we get signs of life in the room. Alrighty. How you doing, Bam?
Hey, how are you?
So, last night I took what I call a mental health break from our two little friends.
Sometimes we need those. I used to take them from work quite a bit.
Yeah, they are much needed. And then, hang on, let me go and share this thing real quick.
You know, when I lived in Cincinnati, and I had to be at work at like 2:00 in the morning, and some days, I'd just wake. I'd go to bed at like 5:30, 6:00 at night.
Yeah.
And get up at midnight to be at work by 2. And some days I'd wake up and I'd be like, God, I don't want to go to work. I just want to drink. So I'd make myself a drink and I'd call my boss, who would just be going to bed. And I'm like, yeah, just to let you know you're going to have to go in because I'm taking a mental health day. And he'd be going, have you had a drink yet? I'd be like, yep. He goes, you son of a I'd be like, well, that's where you make the big money and I make the little money.
That was always the trick, wasn't it? Get off work quick, have a drink, and then they can't call you back to work because you had a drink.
Exactly.
How's everyone this evening?
How we doing?
Quick roll call. Isabel. Hope. Welcome, Hope.
Hi, Hope. Hi, Isabel.
Jessica LeBlue. Christy's in the house.
In the hizzy.
Sylvia, Jennifer. And this is part of the beginning process to migrate into everything, all the live programs into YouTube. Less to worry about as far as, being careful about certain kind of content. And I don't need to get any more strikes against me on Facebook.
You have absolutely no sense of adventure.
Yeah. A little bit. So, hey, Jay Villa. Unless you say Villa, I say Villa. Welcome, new subscriber. Alban, welcome. And so the video came out recently, the Inside the School video of what happened at Uvalde. And it's, I know it's been out since, I think, Sunday or Monday.
I think it came out Monday.
Yeah. And I couldn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it. And I mean, it's graphic in that you can hear the sound. It's all the audio is there, right? But you're not going to see any, little kids getting shot or anything like that. I wouldn't show that. But it's upsetting, and it can be upsetting just listening to it. I've had a few people tell me already they couldn't first couple of minutes, and they're bawling their eyes out.
Well, and premiered on ABC News last night, I think it was. Was it last night or Tuesday night? I can't remember which night I seen it. And they were talking about how they got it, and it was leaked to them. And a lot of the parents don't want to watch it, and I don't blame them at all. I wouldn't want to watch it. I wouldn't want to listen to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I mean, they're better off not knowing. I mean, what they know is already bad enough. They're better off not knowing or listening to any of this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know for a fact if I was ever in this unfortunate situation, I would not want any part of that.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't deny the public either. You know, I'd be, hey, you should know what happened.
Yeah, if you have stomach of a cast iron stomach and nerves of steel, then you know it's probably okay for you to watch. But if you have a weak stomach and you don't deal well with this type of situation, then I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah. So if you're going to share this and telling your friends about it or family, whatever, you know, it's graphic in terms of just watching the situation unfold, but there's no
gore.
Yeah. Gore is probably a good word for it. And because if there was, I would not show that anyway. So, but I can understand how it can still be upsetting. So it's roughly an hour and 22 minutes from beginning to end. And we're just going to play it, and we'll try not to. You can't hear a lot of talking. So if we do some commentary over it, I'm not too worried about it. But I will say the gunshots are pretty loud. So let me pop this up here. All right. I guess we're ready for this. All right, here we go. So this is the funeral home footage. And the school is across the street. You see where the truck crashed up here?
Yeah, that's the shooter's truck that crashes right there.
And then the school is over here, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
So this part here is not going to have any sound. It's when they get into the hallway of the school itself. So these two come out, and I believe they're shot at.
From the news that I watched, they said that they were shot at because they went to try to help the gentleman.
Right.
I call him a gentleman. I use the term loosely.
Yeah, the freaking bastard.
That works.
No, there's one shot. Boom, and there's another shot.
And then we run, which, yeah.
He didn't get hit. He just tripped, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, from my understanding, they were not hit at all.
So he's still down there fidgeting with the car, and then there he goes. Now he's walking across.
And I think at this point, the two funeral gentlemen there have called 911.
Yeah. All right. This coverage will cut to. There he is. He's like right here. See him?
Yeah. Yeah, I see something moving there.
Yeah, they put the arrows there. Okay, good.
This is the school, if I think.
I thought it was a funeral home, a different
No,
camera.
this is still the funeral home.
Yeah, they have a camera in the back. Dang, man, he had a long way to walk. It's too bad somehow they couldn't be alerted or something. He had.
Yeah, I mean, he's just taking his sweet time walking across the field there. He is in no hurry.
Okay, yeah, this is a third camera from the funeral home also. So he stops here behind this parked car, maybe to continue with audio only, with audio from the elementary school. Okay.
I can't see him. I cannot see him. No, all I saw was the servant. He goes down and he's shooting. Why haven't they said anything for the to come? The kids are running. Oh my God. Get in your room! Get in your room!
Yeah, teacher's yelling at a kid to get in the room.
Get in your room! Get in your room!
And those are gunshots.
Yeah.
Is he inside the building? Is he inside?
So all those shots, he was outside shooting at the school. Now he's inside.
Watch this corner down here. You're going to see a kid. There's the kid. And those were gunshots. I mean, with all the gunshots that he shot, it's a miracle that he only hit 19.
Yeah.
And that right there was just over 30 shots. Cops are finally here.
So my whole thing was, and I think I'm correct, we'll find out, but most of the damage that he did happened up until this point, before they even got there.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's possible. You know, that's when they realize that they are outgunned.
Well, dude, right there in the center's got a long gun. There's two long guns there.
So what they're doing right there is kind of expecting him to come out into the hallway so they can take a shot, and they're kind of set up for it.
Yeah, they're doing that, but I think more or less they're scared.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert, but sorry, man, that's your. If I'm a police officer and I hear gunshots, you got to run to it.
Yeah, I mean,
try to stop
these
it.
guys ran from it instead of to it.
I'm going to pause it right here for a minute. Hey, everyone, welcome who's just joining us. We're playing the Uvalde school shooting, the hallway footage from inside. And they showed the footage of the car. The pickup truck he was driving, and it wrecked in that what do you call it? The pit,
A field, a ditch.
A ditch. And then two gentlemen from the funeral home went to go and help the accident. And then they were shot at, so they ran back to the funeral home, presumably to call the police. The shooter walked across the entire field, and then from the parking lot, he started shooting at the school. And you could hear the audio from this audio of teachers telling their kids to go back into the classroom and go back into the classroom. And then you see the shooter walk in. Doors are open. He just pulled it and walked in. That's what I saw, right? Am I wrong? That's what I saw.
That's pretty much what you saw. And I believe at this point we have 5, possibly 6 officers on site right now.
Yeah. And the one thing I've been saying from the very beginning, and I haven't commented a lot on it because I don't have all the facts. I didn't know what all the details were. I mean, I know some people were out there saying they knew what happened and they were trying to tell the world, oh, they should have done this or they should have done that. I still don't know that yet. All I know is that the shooter went in and started shooting, a lot of shooting, and then once the officer showed up, even though there was some shooting, but it was only a few shots, pretty much that's when the shooting stopped. So my theory is that the shooter caused all the damage to life in those few minutes before the police even got there. I truly believe that. So now we have didn't one officer run down there, or did he come back already?
He came back.
Okay, he come back. And when the shooter was up here in this area, the shooter came in from here, made the turn, walked up this way. When he was about here, this little kid to the left of the screen, this corner where this officer is kneeling, he came out and he looked around the corner. And when the shooter started firing, the kid ran back over here. And I don't know what is over here, but he ran back
I would
over
assume here. Another classroom.
And then that's when you hear the barrage of just the reports, and it just seems like it's nonstop. Finally, minutes later, the police arrive, and then they're trying to figure out what they're up against. They all went forward, and then the shooter started shooting apparently at them, and then they all retreated. And you can tell, it's like, yeah, we're outgunned. So I get it. It's fear. And of course, they don't want to die. But my thing is, man, that's your job. There's little kids right there. And
yeah,
that's a tough thing.
I'm sorry to say, you're kind of getting paid to put your life on the line here.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Just wanted to get everybody up to speed. So now it's 11 minutes into this, starting from when the car crashed outside. Now I'm looking at this cop here on the left, and he's looking at this cop rearrange his vest, or maybe, put it on again, fasten it. And I almost, it looks like this guy is waiting on this guy to, like, are we going to go? Are we staying? Or what are you going to do?
Yeah, it kind of looked like, well, what are we going to do? What's our action plan here?
Right here, if you want to watch that, watch the officer here in the bottom left corner. Okay, now we got another officer who just pulled up, plain clothes.
No, he was originally with these guys.
Was he in? Okay, then they all scattered when they. Okay. That was another shot you heard. You know, I'm not going to be one to criticize or anything because I can't even imagine what that's like to be in a position like that. But I think as this officer was taking criticism on the photograph that they showed or the video clip of him looking at his phone. And I think his wife is a teacher in that school. And that's why he kept looking for messages or waiting to hear back from her. And then there was another officer, maybe it was him, who had the, what is that skull logo?
Punisher.
The Punisher on
Yeah, the
his
skull
screensaver.
with the three line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Punisher.
And, you know, people were cracking jokes. That, oh, yeah, big tough guy, but not exactly.
Well, I mean, this is a situation where everybody's nerves are going to be like rattled and your adrenaline is pumping and you're scared and you got so many emotions going on. It's hard to control them all. I mean, it's easy for me to sit back and say, hey, dude, you know, you're paid to put your life on the line, do your job. But, you know, sitting here thinking and seeing what the hell's going on, it's like, you know, what the hell would I do if I was in their position? Okay, now we got some more cops here.
All right, now that's a much bigger gun this guy's got.
Yeah, he just got here because he wasn't there to begin with.
Okay, so we're what are we? 16 minutes into this. 16 if you take away the couple minutes outside. I don't know. Let's say 12 minutes into this thing. At some point, I imagine the SWAT team was contacted. I mean, I don't know how long that all takes. I'm not trying to say what's taking so long. You know?
I know it, and everybody knows when you're waiting, 5 minutes feels like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And for these kids to wait, what was it, 53 minutes, 55 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, that had to feel like months to these people.
Yeah, Isabel, sorry I didn't see your message earlier. The whole video is an hour and 22 minutes. So just a little over an hour left.
I mean, the emotional scars this has had to leave on the survivors, it's just got to be unreal.
I mean, I know they don't have the tactical equipment, the protection, or whatever, but I mean, at this point, fine, he stopped shooting, but you know what? There could be kids bleeding out, people that are shot that are not, you know, that were not, that their life was not terminated by the gunshot, but they're bleeding, and maybe they could have been rescued.
Right. And, you know, nobody's gone down this hallway in a while. The last shot that the shooter shot, he could have taken his own life for all we know. And yet we're still sitting here hanging out.
All right, so it looks like another team of law enforcement are on the other end of the hallway.
Yeah, I thought I seen some movement down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. If I'm a police officer, I'm shaking my head. You know what? I have to go. That's
Yeah.
that's the job. That's what I signed up for when I decided to be a police officer. I have to go in there, and I mean, I know they're trying to protect themselves, but I mean, they're not even, they're way back there. Even if,
Yeah, I think the door that the shooter's in is past the hallway door there, and then on the left there's some like red things, and I think it's that black door right there.
yeah, this
right there.
This is a shadow from. This is the hallway that goes right in there. That darkness is the wall of the hallway as soon as you turn left. So like where the floor is dark here.
Yep.
That's where the hallway is right there. And that's where he went into.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I didn't have the audio too loud because there's a lot of chatter, but you can't really hear what they're saying. But the shooting stopped. You heard that? They haven't heard a shot in a few minutes already. So, okay, so for somebody to say, wow, he was shooting everybody up for an hour and 20 minutes, that's not what happened.
No, that's a false claim.
I mean, later, I'm going to time it from the time he opened the door and listen to all the shooting and everything and see how long that was. That's when everything happened, before police even got there. So at this point, you got law enforcement right here, right? And on the other end over there. So doesn't that create a kind of a friendly fire situation? I mean, if the shooter were to come out and just stand here in the middle, police, they're going to shoot each other.
Yeah, unless if one of them says, hey, South Side's going to shoot, North Side take cover, or vice versa. Or East or West or whatever it is. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they would end up, somebody get caught, the shooter get caught in the crossfire, and hopefully nobody else would get shot.
Okay, they're entering on the other end now.
Yeah, you can see some tiny little ants moving around down there.
Here's the Border Patrol. On the lower right, they just entered.
Yeah, and wasn't it a border patrol that actually killed the shooter?
That's what the word is. Yeah, Border Patrol, BTAC or something like that. BPTAC. I don't know, man. I mean, the word is that they were waiting for permission to shoot or permission to go forward. There, okay, you got a shield. Now somebody take it and freaking go. The word is that they were waiting for permission and they did not get authorization. That's why nobody went forward, allegedly. There's that word again, allegedly.
Yeah, this was handled completely wrong. And they even said that was handled wrong.
That's the word the term I was looking for was crossfire. It's like they're going to shoot each other. Hopefully they would communicate and say, yeah, if something happens, you guys go first or whatever, you know. I don't know, man. With a bunch of children with their lives at stake, shield or no shield, 2 or 3 guys go up there, and you know somebody's going to get shot, but 3 against 1, you got a better chance of taking them down.
Well,
my humble opinion, you know, not a tactical opinion from a civilian.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know for sure. I've never been shot, but I'm sure it doesn't feel good. But I mean, and these guys are wearing Kevlar and all this other body armor, and yeah, even if you get shot wearing Kevlar, I hear that it doesn't feel good and it leaves bruises.
Yeah, they say it hurts. It's like getting struck with a hammer at high velocity.
Yeah. But, you know, it's still your job, and you know you're going to survive unless you get a headshot. I mean, all your vital organs are covered.
I mean, it's almost like, what the F are you waiting for? It's like, what the...
Well, exactly. And then finally the one border patrol guy, if that's who actually did it, I mean, at least he grew some cojones and actually did what needed to be done. Or if he's not there yet, I think he's not here yet. I think that's what it is. It's like this guy off to the right here. It's like he's having a coffee hour or something.
Man, epic failure, bro. I don't know. I don't know if it was a jurisdiction question or why didn't just somebody go? I mean, somebody said, "Hey, what are we doing here?"
Look at these two down here by those right side, by the green paint. So you got the one cop on his knees and the other one right behind him with another long arm or long gun. Yeah. So, I mean, if the guy behind him happens to fire his gun, the cop on his knees is going to be deaf.
Oh yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a proper positioning for
Oh, I'm pretty sure too.
for and set up like that. Okay, so we're 29 minutes in, minus the, let's say, 4 minutes that he took from crashing the car to walking across the parking lot and all that. So about 25 minutes.
We're waiting for the negotiator with commercial enforcement. We approach, he started shooting at me. We have to get in. We captured the kid and the kids don't want to come out. We was actually that if we were like getting this lady, there's a way she up here.
And you know the other bad part about all this, you know, this is supposed to be, you know, Texas. You know, guys love their guns. The people here will do anything to protect kids, and this just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
If this happened in, I don't know, anywhere else, but it's like Texas. It's like everybody's supposed to be gung ho, and hey, let's put a stop to this immediately. What's going on with that room there?
Well, they're knocking on the door trying to see if anybody's in there. I'm wondering if they're thinking maybe if we go through this room, we might be able to get down. There might be another exit down there at that hallway. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'd be thinking.
Oh, there was somebody in there hiding out. Teacher probably or something. Nope, I guess there's no other exit. Somebody's asking, what are your thoughts on concealed carry?
Well, I have a concealed carry.
I think, it's been talked about before, arming teachers or allowing them to be armed if they want to. I definitely don't think you need a whole entire school full of armed teachers.
No, I don't think every teacher in every classroom needs a firearm.
Yeah, you can ask it. Does anybody want to volunteer? Are they trained and they want to volunteer? Thank you so much. God bless. But
I think it's a great idea if they want to do it. More power to them.
In this kind of situation where the guy's got an AR-15 style, I don't know, they'd have much success to defend,
Well, and that's just it, because a lot of these shooter guys that are coming in and doing this, they have body armor on too, just like the cops do.
Yeah.
So, a teacher's going to have a 9mm probably, most likely a 9mm. Maybe some, the stronger gentlemen would have a 45. But, that's not going to do anything against body armor. I mean, the only way you're going to be able to subdue a shooter like that is a headshot.
Yeah. I don't know if the gentlemen at the funeral home, when they came out, I mean, imagine if they were armed and they were able to return fire, and they might have trapped the guy in that ditch by his car,
Yeah. So, I mean, if the teacher had a firearm in this situation and she or he pulled it, I mean, it may have just pissed the shooter off even more. And instead of killing 19, maybe would have killed 50.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. I don't know. Maybe I am watching too many movies. But it seems like everybody groups here, they make a plan, and by now they should have been way up here already.
Well, yeah, they should have made a little group and went in formation down the hallway, turned down that hallway down there, and got to a window, and the first one that had a shot through the window, take it. Or one open the door, and then 5 people storm in there. I mean, I'm probably right there with you too, watching too many movies, but it's I don't know.
Yeah,
I want to say it's a common sense situation, but there's training involved here.
And I know that the movies make it look,
Easy.
Hollywood makes it look like, oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
You guys, blah, 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 you're okay. Let's go. Do it. And then, it's over, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a common sense situation, but there's training involved, and these officers obviously been trained, but they're just not utilizing their training.
I don't know. Perhaps, when they do active shooter training at your job or at a school, you know what? Perhaps it's too soft. Perhaps you need a real, maybe with paintballs or something, and like real situations. Okay, now we got a body cam up. Officer Garza.
Wow, look at the color difference.
Yeah.
Obviously, the body cam's a better quality camera.
Oh man. For what's going on, there's too many people just standing around.
Oh, absolutely. And to get back to what the training thing, I watched a movie where they did live shooter training in a school, and they did not tell the teachers or anything that it was a training session. And everybody thought that it was free. They had cops come in, and they were running through the hallways, firing guns with blanks in them to scare people. And some of the kids were just so traumatized over the situation, they refused to go back to school. And I get it. I would be too if I was a child in that situation. I'd be traumatized. Would never want to go back to school. I get it.
If you want to do like a real life simulation, leave the kids at home. No, there's no class Thursday and Friday, and only have teachers, and they're in on it. Kind of, they know what's going to happen, and you have to make it realistic.
And it should be realistic to a certain extent.
At the airport, we have those emergency, the training on the emergency disaster if a plane crash or something. And we had those, and I know everybody's standing around laughing. I'll lay down, my leg's broken, kind of laughing it off. But, obviously nothing compares to the real thing.
Right. Are we inching closer to that hallway? Or no?
You know,
Oh, that must be at the other end of the hallway.
yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Because I'm going to take a wild guess. At this point, they don't even know where the shooter is.
I'm right there with you. But, you know, we've heard that from the 911 calls and the other news that on the day of, that children were calling 911 saying that we're in room 11. We're in room 11. So you would think that somebody would relay that information.
If that dude is just a security guard, this guy, right? This guy next to him over here, this guy.
Yeah, I think so.
If he's just like general school security, he's not armed, get him out of there. Just go away. I mean, it's almost like if they expect him to come out running. Oh, that's these guys right here. Yeah, that's these guys right here.
Yep.
Gone racing. Yeah, that's what pisses me off. Everybody just standing around. At this point, I will say, screw jurisdiction. We got to do something. And
I'm right there with you.
like I said, they should have been way up here already. I mean, what's going to happen from here to here? Nothing. Unless their only plan is to run out of there if they get fired upon. They got easy exits right here, but 20 minutes ago, they should have been right up here. And then a few minutes later, then they should have been right up here, going down that hallway. I didn't see anyone go down that hallway yet. Just make this left turn right up here.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody either. I mean, it seems like they're just standing around having fucking coffee hour.
And I'm sure that's not it. But there was definitely a lack of leadership. I mean, nobody stepped up and said, yo, what are we doing here? Where's the shooter? Well, I don't know. Why don't we know? Like, come on, man.
I can't get over this formation down here in the right-hand corner with the three long guns right there. I mean, there's going to be some deaf people here.
One right here, this little triangle right here.
That state trooper, if those other two guys shoot those guns, he is going to be hurting for a while. I mean, even when I wear my ear protection when I'm at the range, I mean, my ears hurt for a while.
Yeah, when I first started shooting, I bought these cheap headset covers, ear protection. Yeah, it was no good. I returned them. I'm like, these suck. And so I had to spend more money on better ear protection. I can imagine that firing right by your head. And not just one shot. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of rounds fired in that whole little area right here.
Oh, yeah.
That sound is going to bounce everywhere.
Well, yeah, and then we're in such a small, confined space, and it's going to be so many echoes and probably 5 times the actual sound of what it is.
Where the hell's Tommy Lee Jones in this situation? Damn it.
We don't need Tommy Lee Jones. Samuel L. Jackson, he'll get it done.
I know, and I know we joked about it, but you think it'd be like in the movies, but this is not even. This is so disorganized. I'll bet it's more organized when they do it on film. It would seem like it is more communication. That's the problem here. Nobody's stepping up to take charge.
Yeah.
At least from what we've seen.
I mean, I remember the day of the shooting. I think we did a show the day of the shooting.
Yeah, I think so.
And I said then that there's going to be some lawsuits filed.
Yeah, I'm trying not to put it too loud. It's noisy in its own way, but you can't make out what they're saying. Smoke canisters. You see that here? I don't know if they're flash bombs or just smoke. That's what those cans are here.
They could be percussion grenades.
Yeah. See, and that's rough too. Being on the outside, you're on the bright outside looking into a window.
I have a feeling with all the school shootings that have been happening lately, when they build new schools, they're going to have like panic rooms inside school classrooms.
Yeah, Janie, I was wondering too if there was another hallway camera on the other end or not at the other intersection. You think there would be? Maybe there is, but they're not.
Yeah, they don't. This is the only one I've seen that they've shown.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to think about it, but you have to believe that some of the victims were alive, just bleeding out, and I mean, so much time going by. Who knows how many we could have saved? Again, it's just speculation. We'll find out at some point when these actual reports start to come out. But as you can see, I mean, it took so long to get this video out. It's not something that they're, in a hurry to get out.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not pleasant to watch or listen to. I mean, granted, there is no blood or gore or anything, but it's not pleasant to watch or listen to, especially when the gunshots start.
Yeah, because even though you don't see it, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what happened. All right, let's watch this guy right there. He's just walking in. He's going to come in on the right here. No, that's the sheriff.
Now, Luna, the audio is a mumble mess.
Yeah. I'm not even sure which is, unless there's a microphone on this main camera up here.
I think it's the school camera that has the microphone.
They're asking about a master key. They're asking about a master key. So it looks like they're having trouble getting into something somewhere.
Well, the principal, janitor would have that, vice principal. I don't think too many teachers would have a master key.
I wonder if they even realize that he shot, 120 rounds already before they even walked in there. And that there are, 19
more shots.
Yeah.
Oh, now we decide we're moving.
They're making entry.
Now, you know what you do for sure? You put a freaking camera in every single classroom. Every single classroom.
All of our classrooms up here have cameras in them.
Dude's in his flip-flops. Did you see that?
Well, he's on vacation or a day off or something.
He's in his flip-flops.
That might be the one that came to because his kid goes to the school. Might be that one. Did you remember hearing that an officer came because his kid was at the school?
See this dude down here with the helmet?
Yeah.
He should be in front of the line if he's got a helmet.
I'm willing to bet that this video makes it into a lot of police districts for training. Saying this is not how to handle the situation.
So I wonder if that's BP tech. When these guys arrive, seems like everything now started. Everybody's moving around a lot quicker. The guys in a camo.
Yeah.
How much time has passed? Somebody's asking Katie. It's we are 56 minutes in. So I'm going to say it's close to about an hour if you take away the time from when he crashed into the ditch and then walked to the parking lot. He shot at the school from the parking lot before he went in. Somewhere in the 4 to 7 minutes. I'd say it's just under an hour from when he actually walked in. You know, for some reason that bothers me. That dude with the flip-flops, with the sandals.
Yeah. You knew you were coming to a active shooter situation. You could have dressed a little better.
Yeah, take the 30 seconds extra to put your damn shoes on or boots or whatever. Same thing bothers me when people go flying and they wear their flip-flops on an airplane. Yeah. Not a good idea.
Well, yeah, you're in a small confined area and you have stinky feet. We don't want to smell your feet.
No, besides that, if there's an emergency landing and you got to get off and there's a wreck, God forbid, like the other last week, 2 weeks ago in Miami, that plane caught fire on a hard landing.
Oh yeah.
Well, now you got to run across that field. You got to get off the airplane in a hurry. You got to run. There's going to be debris. You're going to step on stuff. You want to be barefoot in your flip-flops? Don't wear flip-flops when you go fly. Put on shoes.
And don't wear high heels on a soggy lawn.
Bam and I worked for the airline. We know what that's like. I know you want to be all comfortable, but it's not good practice. And this dude, we see him on the left over here. I don't know what his role is. He was hiding on the other side over here where this guy is. He was hiding here behind the wall. Now he's over here hiding behind the wall. Dude's got a vest and a helmet.
Yeah, I couldn't begin to guess. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think you guys are talking about the shoes. Heels either on an airplane. Unless you can, I don't know. I'm just saying. Pair of athletic shoes, gym shoes, wear that. If you got to wear heels at the airport, they have a meeting right after. Put them in your bag so you can swap out once you get off your flight. But you want a shoe that's not going to fall off your foot, especially if you got to run across a debris field and metal and glass everywhere, fire, oil, gasoline. Martha, yeah, I'm sure they were the first few that arrived. I know they were scared. I mean, they were hesitant to move up even to this line here, to this wall. Yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't be yet, and I don't claim to know how they feel, but I'm guessing, educated guess, all right? Educated opinion is that a lot of these guys who just showed up, there hasn't been any gunfire for a long time. They think the threat is somewhat
Over?
squashed, or at least temporarily, or maybe he's hiding or he's injured. They don't know. So if you don't hear gunshots, you're a little more, well, nothing's going on. It's quiet, right? So maybe everybody just decided to chill a little too much. Because at this point, I don't even know. I don't know that they know where the guy is.
I mean, it's nice to see a lot of people down there at that other hallway now.
You know, and I don't mean to criticize because I don't know what their tactics are, or what's going through their minds, but you got 20 or 30 people in there right now. I don't know. I guess I don't understand. Yeah, Brandon. I think she was here a minute ago.
Oh, we got a runner.
I know, Katie. That's a good way to put it. It's like, you know, we think we know what should have happened, or we think we know what they should have done, and maybe we're not wrong. They just had a lot of miscommunication, and nobody stepping up to the plate as a point of contact. You know, who's the guy in charge right now? In the airline business, there's some kind of disaster or security concern. Who's the, you know, PIC, person in control? This dude here on the left, I don't know. He should give his helmet to someone who might actually use it. He looks like he's trying to hold up the wall. Well, we're getting close to wrapping up, so something will be happening in the next few minutes. I just heard him asking if anybody else here. It's like, looks like everybody's there.
It does kind of look like everybody's there.
You hear? Did you hear that? We're like an hour in, and now the call comes out. We have SWAT on their way.
Yeah, they moving just a little too quick for me.
Are you talking about this guy here? So, did you catch that, Bam?
What?
This guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's his daughter was killed. One of the kids killed there.
Okay.
I mean, that's why looks like he wanted to go over there, and this guy's holding him back. So, kind of holding him back.
Okay, but we don't know who's killed and who's not killed yet.
Right.
But I get why he's holding him back, because his emotions are going, I got to save my kid.
Yep.
He's emotionally compromised at this point. He shouldn't even be there. They needed to remove him from this situation completely.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If I knew my kid was there, I'd be, you know what? Get your hand off me. I'm going in that room. I don't care.
Well, and you know, it just blows me away that they waited over an hour before anything was done. And that's, I'm sure, the main point of the lawsuit on the city's part.
I mean, the point of the body armor is that if you do come face to face with an active shooter, I mean, it does no good. You're hiding behind walls over here 100 feet away, 200 feet away. I know I'm just talking out of my ass right now, but I can't. Maybe I have watched too many movies, you know?
Well, me too.
Or this is a very bad one right here.
Yes, it is. This is a bad scenario, bad planning, bad training, bad everything here.
All right. So there's about 8 minutes left. I'm assuming we're going to hear some gunshots pretty soon or something, some kind of activity going on.
There's a stretcher. All right. Looks like there's going to be some action.
Oh, he came back. I saw this officer take off down the hallway, but I didn't see him when he came back.
Yeah, he came back.
Man, I don't. What's with the rubber gloves? If it's COVID, whatever, really, at this point, I'd be more worried about what's going on in there. Forget the freaking gloves. Well, I'm assuming. Well, hold on. I don't want to get into it too much. This is going to wrap up pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be like a Hollywood kind of a thing where there's going to be a barrage of gunfire and then it stops, or what happens.
I don't know. I can't remember. I didn't watch the end. It just blows me away that all these guys are here and not one of them did anything in over an hour. It's mind-boggling.
I mean, the only thing I'm going to say is we don't know what's going on way up here. But yeah, I mean, it's not a good look when you got 20 or 30 officers.
Or more.
Different kinds.
We don't even know how many's outside.
Yeah, and it just seems like they're all standing around. Maybe it's safe to assume everyone wearing the gloves is medical. I guess that would make sense.
This guy's holding this guy by that strap on his shoulder there.
Yeah.
What the hell are you, traffic director?
Well, I mean, he could be kind of. Oh, hold on.
Everybody, we need everybody out there. We're ready to catch somebody. Everybody heads up.
Everybody heads up.
Two minutes left on this thing. All right. Well, he's got the scope on around his neck, stethoscope. So I'm assuming he's obviously maybe setting up for a triage area or something.
And there it's over.
Yep. Yep. I know they blocked somebody. They blurred somebody out way at the end. What? I don't know. Any additional thoughts other than what the obvious stuff that we already went over?
They ended the shooter's existence, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out who they were blurring out at there at the end. Because obviously it wasn't the shooter.
No. Some kind of law enforcement. They were blocking maybe to block the identity. So,
of the person that did it?
The actual
that could be
law enforcement officer who shot. But
that could
man,
be.
excruciating the wait, the standing around. My first thoughts on this when I talked about this was that he killed in those first 2 or 3 minutes that he was inside. The first 5 minutes, that's the bulk of the damage.
Yeah, and I mean in that 145-second little clip, I counted over 30 shots that the shooter did from beginning to when the shooter actually stopped shooting. If I had to guess, because I didn't count all of them, I just counted that in that like 45-second clip. If I had to guess, I'd say he shot close to 100, if not 110 rounds.
Yeah, it was estimated he spent 119, 122 rounds, something like that.
Wow.
So this was the very beginning. Welcome, everyone. We got some more people joining us. I don't know if you caught the beginning or how much of this you actually caught. I mean, we're just going to skim through it right now. I'm not going to play the entire video.
Yeah, so 2 rounds here at the funeral with these 2 guys at the crash.
So, yeah. See the pickup truck right up here. Goes into a ditch. He obviously was not a good driver or lost control or who knows what the heck he was trying to do. Maybe he didn't know there was a ditch there, but that's his neighborhood. That's where he went to school. You think he knew the ditch was there.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
So that happens. There was a wreck. Somebody at the funeral home. This is a funeral home here. And these 2 guys from the funeral home, workers there, they come out and go, whoa, there was a wreck. Let's go see if we can help. And they're heading over there. They don't know anything.
I don't even think they get to the grass area before that guy starts shooting at them.
No, it's about the middle of the street or just past it. So right now they start taking fire right about now.
Yeah, so pretty much right at the grassy area.
Boom, there's one shot. Now they're running.
And that guy trips.
Yeah, he tripped. He didn't get shot. He just fell. He was trying to get out of there so fast. Might have even left a shoe behind.
It does kind of look like it.
Right?
Yeah, there's a little something there.
So, you know what? I'll time it on a different night, but I'm going to time it to see how long it took from the crash. And he's over here walking across the field. He just got onto the areas. He's going to jump the fence. He just threw a bag over.
That would be his stuff.
There, now he's over the fence, picking up his bag, and now he's continuing to walk. And we'll get the red arrow here in a second. There he is, yeah. Different angles from the funeral home, the back of the funeral home, or the side of it, I should say. Catches the shooter walking across the, or the front. Maybe it is the front. And he's going across the street, across the field. And then he finally reaches the parking lot. And it seems like, okay, he's over here. It seems like he kind of sets up shop right behind that white vehicle. And then he starts firing at the school because in a moment, the audio kicks in of the teacher, a teacher in the classroom yelling at the kids to
get in the classroom. Like she screams like 6 or 7 times.
Now, keep in mind, everyone, and not because it's graphic visually, but the sounds, they can be disturbing. Okay, it sounds like she was on the phone with somebody, telling them what's going on. So at this point, the shooter is still right here.
Well, those are gunshots right there.
Get in the room! Get in the room! Get in the room! Get in the room! Is he inside the building? Is he inside?
can't see where he's at. I don't know if he's here somewhere, maybe. Oh. What's going on there? Oh, he's already at this. Yeah, okay. All right. So, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. That's him. That's the... Now, look at this guy here. So we're just about a minute in from when he enters the door, and there's already been 50 shots fired, 50 or 60.
Yeah, a little series of 3 right there. That was from a handgun.
And not to get too graphic or detailed, but that sounds like he's aiming and shooting.
Yeah, it's a handgun.
Yeah.
Those were the ones I were counting. I couldn't count the other ones because there's too much of an echo or
Right.
or
Yeah.
it was shooting too fast.
So now we're at the 2-minute mark. That set was about 24, 25 rounds, between 22 and 24. See, that's where you go in there all the way in and freaking gung-ho, man, and try to end it right there.
That's what they should have done. One, two, three, four, five. 3, 4, 5. There's 7 cops right there.
So there's some more shooting that goes on because all those cop officers that went down there, they retreat back. So that barrage of shooting, I imagine, was at law enforcement. So 4.5 minutes in right now. So I'm not going to play the whole video all over again. Unless those who just came in, if you haven't seen it, I suppose I can leave it. Bam! If you had a split at any time, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little groggy-eyed. Besides, I don't know if I can handle this again.
Yeah.
It's a disturbing video. It really is. And I'm not saying because of the blood and gore, because you're not going to see any of it. It's the shooting and the knowing of what happened.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes in, and if I remember correctly, there's no more gunshots at this point.
No, there wasn't anything until like the last 40 seconds.
Right, way at the end.
It's just a bunch of cops. You sit around watching a bunch of cops. To me, it looks like trying to figure out what the F they're doing, and who brought the coffee, pretty much.
That's what it looked like. Most likely they're waiting for an official, somebody to say breach, go in or whatever. I'm using a Hollywood term. I don't know if that's a real term. I know what it means. I just don't know if that's the lingo that they actually use. But you'll see this, and you'll see more officers come around, and it's just a bad look. Everybody's standing around.
Well,
a lot of some of these guys who are here right now, they heard the gunshots as they were coming in. The shooter was shooting.
Well, and even after all of this, and the cops are sitting there talking about their timelines after the shooting, and it was all done and over with, and the cleared out the school and everything. The cops somebody was talking about their timeline. One of them got up there and said, "That's not our policy. We do not sit and wait for authorization to go in. You have an active shooter, you take control of the situation. You get in there, do what you need to do."
Yeah, and somebody who was interviewed, and I couldn't tell you who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was law enforcement. They said they asked if they should go in and move forward, and they were told no, to wait.
I remember that part of the interview too.
Again, and I don't mean to. I'm not downplaying the violence, but at this point, I think everybody was dead already.
Unfortunately, or fatally wounded, and they're laying there in agony.
Yeah, the question came up. Some people were bleeding out and they died because they didn't get any medical attention. We don't know if that's true. That's allegedly. I heard one gunshot. But, my initial thoughts from a couple of weeks ago, or a month ago already, is correct. The bulk of his shooting happened in the first 5 minutes of when he entered that school. And all this other stuff, waiting for an hour or whatever, that was all. They got lucky. Law enforcement got lucky that he didn't go to another classroom and start shooting up another classroom.
Yeah, because they have adjoining classrooms, which is like one of those accordion walls.
Yeah, which was open. That's why there were so many kids in there. So the rest of all this standing around, I would hope if the shooting continued that somebody would say, you know what, we're gone. We can't just stop and listen to this.
I personally don't know what is more disturbing for myself, knowing what happened and listening to the gunshots, or sitting here watching these cops with, if you excuse the expression, their head up their ass,
Yeah.
doing absolutely fucking nothing. That's extremely disturbing to me.
And I understand about not going above your head. What do you call it? Insubordination. But something like this,
I mean,
I'm gonna
take control of a situation. I mean, grow some balls or something.
I'm gonna try to stop it, or I'm gonna die trying to stop it. I mean,
Or do I just sit here and watch Billy Joe next to me and see what he does, and then I'll do the same thing? I mean, are they waiting for somebody to make a move and then follow them in, or what?
yeah. Now, the one thing I don't agree with, I don't know if you've heard anything about it. You know, there's a conspiracy theory that this was all done on purpose or was all set up. I'm one of those that likes to look at everything with the glass half full, not half empty. And I would hate to think, with little children, I would hate to think that this was all set up. I don't believe this. I don't agree with that.
I would like to believe the same thing, but I have heard the same thing, and it seems like I've heard it before, especially at Sandy Hook,
Yeah.
and then the Amish school, or was that Sandy Hook?
There was Sandy Hook. Man, there was so many.
Oh, I know.
Sandy Hook was in
Pennsylvania.
No, Parkland was in Florida, right? There was Parkland as well.
Yeah. So I mean, and so you hear that? This is just fluff from the politicians doing this to try to move their gun agendas, and it's no. I don't want to believe that. I mean, I don't want to make it political, but somebody out there already has. And I'd like to believe that there's not a politician out there that would set this kind of situation up to move their agenda through Congress.
I don't know, man. I mean, I can see that and thinking maybe, I don't know. I still don't want to believe that. I don't. I really don't.
I don't want to believe it either. But is there a small, tiny little chance? Probably, but I don't want to believe it.
I mean, there are evil people, that's for sure.
And we know that because, I mean, obviously here's one here. And that the nightclub shooter guy in Orlando.
Oh, yeah, at the, what was that
the
place
gay
called?
club.
Yeah. I forget the name of the place, but yeah.
Yeah, and then you had the McVeigh guy. David McVeigh. Timothy McVeigh. Yeah. He was the bomber in Denver, I believe. I mean, yeah, there's some shady MFs out there in the world. There really are. They're out there.
It was a Pulse nightclub in Orlando.
Yes. Yeah, there's some shady Carls out there, but I'd like to believe that they're not in Congress. But
Timothy McVeigh, I think he blew up. That was in Oklahoma City, I think.
It's a police station or something.
Unless I'm thinking about the wrong thing. No, he blew up the federal building.
That's what it was, the federal building.
Here you go. Timothy James McVeigh, an American domestic terrorist responsible for 1995 Oklahoma City bombing that killed 168.
And then you had that the Joker guy in the movie theater in Denver at the Batman.
Oh, yeah, with the purple hair, green hair, hair.
That freaky guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some shady characters out there.
You know what? Might not be a bad idea to revisit all of these kind of. I'm going to make a note of that for sure.
And then 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago now, you had shooters showing up at Pride party or parades and shooting people.
Yeah, and then not to mention the Las Vegas shooting at the country music concert or the rock concert, whatever it was.
Yeah, if I remember right, that was a father and son situation.
Don't recall the second shooter. I just know the man. Somebody's asking, how far am I from Uvalde? I am roughly 5 hours. So it's just west of San Antonio. So it's a few hours away. But yeah, I mean, there've been so many, and I will. That's what I'm going to spend the next day doing, compiling a list and kind of going over each one.
I mean, I really don't want to believe that it's politically driven. Is there a small percentage chance, maybe 1.001%? Or 0.001%?
I suppose it's possible. I mean,
anything's possible. But I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe that somebody in our government is that freaking callous to do this to help their agenda.
Yeah, and then this brings up, okay, so then you have the conversation about, okay, gun control. Would any other law have prevented this? No, it wouldn't have.
No, because to my knowledge, this guy got everything legally.
Now, the guy worked at a fast food restaurant, I think he worked at. I don't know if it was Wendy's, I think.
Wendy's sounds right for some reason.
Yeah. So everybody, well, where did he get the money? Somebody's funding him. Where did he get the money? Okay, well, my friend Troy and I Troy's from Pennsylvania. He's a friend. He's a viewer. We did the homework one day. We're like, well, where did he get the guns from? What did they cost? What kind of gun was it? How do you get the money for it? And there's a gun shop there in town. And there's a place online where you can go shop for your gun.
Yep, and finance it.
You can apply for financing. What's it called?
I can't remember the name of the website.
Yeah. And we looked up the gun. Once the actual gun was identified, we looked it up. Like, all right, it's about $1,500 a piece. Maybe he got a deal because he bought two. He bought one day and one on a different day. And then he had them outfitted with some kind of scope or something else. And we kind of calculated he spent about $4,000 finance, and made it easy. Once you get approved, I think a week later, he picked up his guns, something like that. And just like that, he's got, and he bought a lot of ammo.
Well, guns no good without the ammo.
He had ammunition in that bag he was carrying. He tossed over the fence when you saw him walk after he crashed the car. And he had so much ammunition, he left a lot of it in the truck. And I don't even think he fired it all off. What he had with him, I don't even think he fired it. He had some on him. And you know what? It's a sick mind. And if it wasn't a gun, it might have been a hatchet or a machete or a baseball bat, or who knows what he could have used. He could, if he wanted to do damage, if he wanted to kill, he would have used something.
Yeah, and there's even videos out there of how to make a pipe bomb. He could have done that.
London, England, the UK, they banned guns. So what kind of crime increased after that? Knife killings, stabbings.
Yeah. Stabbings, I remember
slashings. There were people at grocery stores getting stabbed and slashed all over the place.
Yeah, the only firearms allowed in the UK are shotguns and rifles used for hunting. Handguns are not allowed. Even their policemen don't carry handguns. They do have special forces that carry handguns. And, of course, the Queen's Guard carry rifles or M16s or something.
And then look at what happened in, Copenhagen a couple of weeks ago. They had what they call a mass shooting at a mall.
That's right. I do remember that.
Yeah, and they've got very strict gun laws in that country.
Yeah, and then Japanese guy that was just assassinated in public.
Japan, another country
Japan.
with harsh gun laws.
And that was a homemade gun.
Yeah. It was weird looking. It looked like a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah, made out of Pepsi bottles.
Compact, about this big, this wide maybe. And he killed the former prime minister of Japan. And, where there's a will, there's a way. Whether they print their gun on their own, which they're trying to prevent that from happening here in the U.S., that law preventing somebody from printing ghost guns. You can't print your own gun because you can't put a serial number on it. You can't register it with the government. And yeah, that's a great idea. You got to ban that. I'm not a fan of that. So it's not the gun, it's not the tools, it's the person, it's the heart of the evil. It's the gun laws are not going to do anything.
Nope. All it does is make somebody obey the laws harder to get a firearm.
Yeah, I mean, in some, it's been talked about. Oh, gun ban! Everybody turn in their guns. I mean, do they honestly think the criminals are going to? Oh yeah, we'll give our guns.
Oh yeah, we'll give all our guns. How much you giving me? $200. All right.
That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is everyone will be left without a gun except the criminals, and the crime will continue.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. And for the people who say, well, you don't need a gun in your house. Like, no, why not? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do when the guy breaks into your house and you don't have a gun in the house? You think the social
there's a lot of
worker
home invasions that happen.
Oh, yeah.
You can be sitting in your living room or your family room watching TV, and next thing you know, you hear a big old noise and somebody kicked in your door. Now they're in your house, and they're not there to. They want money, and they'll hurt you if they have to get it. They don't care.
Yeah, seriously, everybody, think about this. When you lock your door at night to go to bed, if you do not have a handgun in the house, somebody breaks in. What are you going to do? I mean, I know you're going to try to call the police, but by the time they get there, how are you going to protect your family? And I'm not talking about the TV or the stereo, or who cares about that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, those are things. They can be replaced. People can't.
It's how are you going to protect your family?
Yeah, people can't be replaced.
Yeah, the dude that comes in and wants to take the kids, take your daughter, and how are you going to protect them?
My uncle, he has been broken into 3 different times in 2 different houses. And the first time he was broke into, him and his wife was on vacation and they weren't there. And when they came home, there was baseball bats that weren't there. That whoever broke in left. They just threw them on the ground or the floor there and went and took what they wanted and left. So that says that, hey, we're here, we're going to hurt you to get what we want.
Yeah.
We don't care. We want it. We're going to take it.
It's as a family, learn to shoot. And if there's only going to be 1 to 2, the adults that are going to be with the handguns, obviously. But when you go target practice, take the kids with you. Let them be around the noise of what it sounds like when a gun goes off.
Yeah.
You can, obviously you don't want to give them the access to your firearm, but you educate, man. You teach them about it.
Well, it's good for them to actually know how to shoot a gun too and how to handle one safely.
Yeah, Mr. Mosby, you're right. It's not about. Well, there are some who would take your guns away, and I'll say, Mr.
Or try.
Or try. But yeah, should it be more difficult to get a handgun? I mean, to a certain extent, I don't think I would have a problem with that. But a 18-year-old that's got no business buying an AR-15, I don't think.
18-year-olds have no business buying a gun. I
If
think
it's
it should be 21, 25 years old, somewhere in that area.
See, but what if it's a family thing? You got a family of farmers and they're responsible people. It's a responsible family. If you have a sponsor, a father, a grandfather, somebody in the family, yeah, this is my family. We shoot. I have 14 guns in the house, and everybody knows how to shoot. The wife, the daughter, the little kid, the dog knows how to shoot.
The dog.
It's. If you got a sponsor, maybe they would make an exception for a younger person, at 18. But it's hard. How do you keep the guns out of people that are just like this kid?
Mentally deranged.
There have been run-ins. There was a problem with him before, just like the shooter, Highland Park, Illinois. A couple of years before, he threatened something, and he wasn't even interviewed.
Yeah, he threatened to kill his family or kill somebody in the family or something.
Yeah, or I think he did. He talked about shooting up a school, and this could that have been prevented? Maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a couple of red flags there that went up, but nobody acted on them.
Yeah. So what good are red flag laws if you're not going to do anything about it? I mean, that.
Well, and the first people that's going to see the red flags is going to be somebody in your family. Well, mom and dad are going to do everything they can to protect little Jimmy.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody mentioned the shooting at Buffalo at the grocery store.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
That
one
guy,
was. I think that one was more of a hate crime situation.
Yeah, definitely. But he streamed it. He streamed the shooting on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, there's another deranged lunatic with the shooting in New York.
I mean, you want trauma? I saw that and I was traumatized. I mean, these are innocent people. I thought it was a video game at first because it was first person video. He had the helmet, a camera on his helmet, just like some of the attack teams,
like Duke Nukem.
Killed the one guy by the car, killed the other person by the car, killed another person at the entrance. He shot into the store from the outside. Then he went in to finish off 2 or 3 people. I mean, and then to stream it. I mean, it's evil.
That is one sick individual.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, Bam, if you got a split, feel free to bow out whenever you want to. We've had a few late nights the last week.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Somebody once said years ago that we'll never catch up on the sleep that we miss.
That's true. It's impossible to catch up on sleep. I mean, it's a nice thing to say, but it's impossible. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this recording right now that we're doing here will be available on YouTube, and it'll stay there. It was hard to watch the beginning. Like I said, it's not graphic visually, but you can hear the gunshots, and I mean, like he said, and I said earlier, it's just the fact that you know what happened to those kids and to the teachers. And just hearing that, it's just man, it's tough. And I didn't talk a lot about it before, like shortly after it happened, because I didn't know all the facts. I didn't know more of the story. And I was not going to get on my soapbox and start, they should have done this and they should have done that. And, I'm not a tactical expert or SWAT team expert, security expert.
Nobody is except the experts.
And, for this kind of thing, yeah, who am I to say, they did it wrong? And I'm not going to start calling out officers by name that they didn't do this or they did that, kind of calling him out in public the day after the shooting, the 2 days after the shooting, when the whole community is still in shock and grieving, and somebody else did that, but I wasn't going to do that because I didn't know enough. I wasn't there. Any of us were there. So, but anyway. All right, Bam. That's all I got for this evening.
All righty.
I thank everyone who stopped by and watched this with us. It'll be available there. I'm not going to delete the video at all. And something has to be done. Somebody's going to have to say, WTF. What the hell, man? What happened? What? I mean, I'm sure by now they probably know. They're just not letting the public know. Because there will be outrage. That's for dang sure.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I've heard that there's already been lawsuits filed with the school board and with the city and the several law authorities.
Yeah.
And rightly so, in my opinion. I mean, after seeing this, yeah, rightly so.
So somebody's asking, how long was it since the first set of cops showed up? So,
well, I think we're still on the original 5, 6, or 7 guys here.
Yeah, I think there might be 1 or 2 extra, but.
Oh yeah, that guy in red. I mean, he's new.
So when he opened the doors,
showed up.
when the shooter opened the door, I started the clock to when finally it seemed like the shooting stopped. And that was around 5 minutes. And police officers came in just before that. You could hear some gunfire still. And then they ran down the hall, and then they got shot at, so they ran back. So again, I'm sticking to my opinion that he killed everyone in the first 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, because I mean we haven't heard any gunshots in 10 minutes?
Yeah, there's been nothing, and there was nothing else, no gunshots until the very end of this video. Maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds left.
Yeah.
When they finally found him, or they engaged, and then they put an end to it finally. So, yeah, I'll bet you when that report comes out, they're going to say all that shooting happened. If you're going by the time he opened the door, all the shooting, all the killing happened in the first 5 minutes. That's an educated opinion. So, all right, Bam. Have a good night, buddy. Thanks for joining me on this one.
Yeah.
Everyone, it
was a rough one.
Yeah. And, just as rough as listening to the gunshots was watching all these guys do nothing.
Do nothing.
That was the hardest part. I'm antsy over here going, it's like you want to jump in there and go, give me a gun. Give me that thing.
I mean, you want to reach through the screen, grab one of them and shake them going, come on, mother trucker, do something.
Right. And again, I'm not the law enforcement expert, but they were waiting on something. I don't know what the hell they were waiting on. But anyway, I'm sure this will be talked about for many, many months, if not years to come. Just not a good look. Not a good look. So, all right, Bam. Thanks a lot. Have a good night. Everyone have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure. What's tomorrow? Thursday. I'll let you know. The other news, that stuff is going on right now. I'm following the Marvin McRae situation. Trying to get more information on that, on his life support or life status right now. And So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. But I just need to take a break from that. There seems to be a lot of bickering between the different YouTubers and vloggers and stuff like that, and shouldn't be like that.
Well, everybody's got their own opinion about it, and they want their opinion to be right and heard.
Yeah, that's fine, but it doesn't need to get nasty. It's like there's enough of that. I don't want any part of that. So I'll just step away for a day, and I'll pick that up tomorrow again and see what's going on. Everyone, thank you for hanging out with us for the last, how long? 2 hours and 17, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And always looking for something to cover next. I like to talk about real life things, real life stories, and real people. So we'll see what I come up with in the next few days. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. The video will be there.
Unlike those Real Housewives of whatever, because they're not real. They're not even housewives.
The Real Housewives of Atlanta or New Jersey or...
They're not housewives, and they're not real. They are some fake, phony hoes. Garden implements.
Garden implements?
Garden implements.
Yeah, be careful. YouTube is watching, Big Brother's watching. So
I don't like Big Brother.
I don't care about Big Brother. If he wants to watch what I'm doing, okay.
And they say if you have a smart TV, and smart TVs have cameras in them now, they can log in and see what you're doing. They want to watch me, see what I'm doing. I'm usually sitting in my chair, catnapping, or I'm yelling at that damn Alexa Fire Cube thing,
scratching your crotch while you're having a drink.
Al Bundy, one hand in the waistband, the other one on a beer.
Yeah. If you want to watch, the Chinese guys want to watch, okay.
Let them watch. I don't freaking care.
Enjoy yourselves if you want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, my life is that exciting that you want to watch me. You go right on ahead.
All righty, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us once again. And I'll be in touch in the next day or so. We'll see you live probably tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, something like that.
Have a great night, guys. Hasta luego.
Good night, everyone. Don't forget, give my YouTube page a subscribe if you haven't yet. I appreciate it. And if you're on the Facebook side, you can you can follow over there as well. It's the same, Manny Behind the Mic, MIC. Is the mic. And yeah, have a good night, and we'll talk tomorrow probably. Good night, everybody.